Jobs aren't disappearing, actually. They're being redefined. The winners will be the people that use AI. But ultimately, you need somebody to supervise the AI. The revolution of the computer and the internet changed how every workflow exists. Ten years ago, we were scared of robots taking our jobs. Now, the robot is already in our pocket, and it's smarter than most of us. Today, we're talking about AI, and I think what matters about this topic is there's a lot of fear and unknowns that come to AI, and I want to break some of that down. The first thing is that when we saw the computer in the early 2000s, right? I want you to go back in time with me a little bit. Let's not even start in 2000. Let's go back before there was computers. I remember when I joined the military, and they still did this. This is 2007. I had to handwrite every single document for me to enlist. I feel like I wrote my social security a million times, social security number a million times, my date of birth, my address at the time, everything was on a piece of paper, and it would get filed with somebody, and they might make a copy of it and send it over to a different, section, unit, whatever it might be. But the world changed dramatically with the introduction of first the personal computer, because now instead we don't write much of anything at all. The only thing you really sign nowadays is legal documents where they need it's called a wet signature, right? And so you just sign on that piece of paper. And the revolution of the computer and the internet changed how every workflow exists. And then on top of that, afterwards, we had Google Drive and the Google series, where now I can work on the document at the same time as you. And these things revolutionized workflow, right? We went from writing every single piece of paper and every single thing to now we can work on a document together and get our project done 20 times as fast as we used to. Well, AI is the same thing. We just added another layer to that piece where instead of maybe you typing in and filling out a form, you're gonna go to the AI, you're gonna say, hey, here's the form I need to fill out, fill this out with this information, and you can do that all via voice. You're not even touching the computer sometimes. And so this is a huge productivity explosion. And I'm not talking about just like a 2x like the internet and the computer was. This is like a 10x. This is so much faster. If you do not know the answer of how to navigate a website, you show a screenshot, ask AI and say, hey, how do I get here? Or maybe you don't know how to have a strategic conversation with someone or create a plan around your business or have a family meeting, and you just want some tips and ideas on how should I organize this? What should we talk about first? What should be the order of things that we discuss? It's gonna help you do all that stuff. You would be a fool not to use it. And then let's talk about jobs. So jobs aren't disappearing, actually. They're being redefined. And the winners will be the people that use AI. So there's a lot of folks out there that they say that somebody that's over 50 doesn't want to realize the new technology in the world, right? And so if you're over 50, you might not be this, but they say for the most part, this is a generality, right? So some people above that and under that are gonna be like, no, I'll use the technology or whatever. I'm that way. Like, I will always use the newest technology because I like learning new things, and I think it can obviously change how I work. And we've seen with computer internet makes it faster, AI also making it faster. But this idea that jobs aren't disappearing, there's not like the layoffs you see in the news, a lot of times, it doesn't matter if it's Meta that you saw, if it's Jack Dorsey, OpenAI has done some layoffs as well. There's been a bunch of different companies that have done layoffs. Well, why have they done those layoffs? That's the reason why. We saw the same thing in COVID. During COVID, people were like, yo, we're laying folks off because of COVID, and it's changing everything we do, and we're losing a bunch of money, and so we're gonna lay some folks off. It's called AI washing. They're just using it as the excuse. I don't think those jobs are really disappearing. I think that they're just trying to lower their headcount because it increases the profits for each company. Now, there will be some job loss. I have no doubt that certain industries that existed will no longer exist. And the ones that will kind of get attacked first are white collar jobs, the paper pushers, the admins, the folks that do basic level tasks that the AI can do instead. The AI can do it faster. But ultimately, you need somebody to supervise the AI. Your assistant might become an AI bot, but ultimately, you still need someone to manage AI. It's not unsupervised and can do everything. Maybe there's a world out there when we'll get to this, that like you could do something like that, but that doesn't exist today. And I think the folks that are using AI today are doing it kind of quietly at their office, right? I use it a lot of times, and I'm probably 10 times faster at every task that I'm given because, one, I can use it to figure the task out, and two, I can use it to make it easier in every capacity. And so the folks that aren't using it, those are the folks that are probably in the greatest risk. You have to use it. You have to understand it. Go on Claude, go on X, go on OpenAI, go on Gemini. You should use all of them because all of them are different and they're good at different things, right? And I think it's really important to understand the nuances. Like a buddy of mine, we're talking about this. Gemini is awesome at graphics. It makes amazing thumbnails. We use it for a lot of different pieces. We're like, if I ask Grok to do something like that, Grok is terrible at it. And you need to know the differences in which AI platform you should use for which task, because they've kind of specialized them in some ways, maybe on purpose, maybe on accident, but certain ones are better at other things. And if you know the answer to that question, you know which chatbot to go to figure out how to get the max use case, you're gonna be way ahead of your peers that are kind of bashing their face against the wall trying to figure out, how is this person able to do 20 things faster than I can do one? There's also the inequality idea here, right? If people who learn to prompt, automate, and create AI will pull ahead fast, and everyone else is gonna fall behind. And there's kind of the missing out thing. We saw this with Mythos. So Claude created this Claude created a new version of AI called Mythos. Well, there's only like top 100 banks in the world right now that can use them because Anthropic said they were a security risk. Somebody could get their hands on it and they would be able to take down the banks. So they gave it to the banks first and they said, hey, use this to increase your security. Well, we still haven't seen what that looks like. I can't use it today. I don't have a special password to say, hey, I'm gonna go use this Mytho thing, but they have it and they're using it for some reason. And I couldn't tell you what it does yet because I haven't seen it myself. So there is gonna be inequalities where there's stuff that the access points are gonna be issues. The other thing that exists with AI right now that not a lot of people are talking about, some are, but on the enterprise level, so from a business perspective, the tokens are outrageously expensive. You know, you might own a ChatGPT subscription for 20 bucks a month, and you might get your 10 prompts a day that it solves those 10 things, and then you run out of use, and so you have to wait your 5 hours to be able to use it again, right? Well, Microsoft don't want to wait, and so they're willing to pay a premium to use tokens, and so they're basically buying compute on a meter, much like your electric bill. You say, hey, I'm gonna use the air conditioner today. They're just doing the same thing. They're leaving the air conditioner on. But what they found is they're spending a lot of compute and they're not getting a ton of results for it because I think you have to have this very specific direction. And it's really easy to kind of get one of these AI bots spinning in circles. Just spinning in circles, trying to do the same task a different way. It needs to reformat, it needs to rethink about it, but it kind of gets stuck in its own thought process because the context matters. And so a lot of the bigger box retailers are realizing, oh, this is way expensive and I'm not getting as much done as I thought I would with it. And so they're kind of pulling back from it. But all these issues that we're talking about, really the thing that we have to address more than anything else is the job displacement thing, because people are so scared. People are losing their mind. And I will say, there are going to be changes. Things are gonna happen. I couldn't tell you what those things are. If I could tell you, I'd be a billionaire. But there's going to be changes. But wouldn't you rather know how the tools work, play with them yourself, and then try and figure out what the future might look like, as opposed to just saying, no, I'm not gonna touch that? Because I think there will be a lot of people that say, no, I'm not gonna touch it. So my advice to you, use it, try and implement it in your family life, your daily life, and then see what you can build. There might be some amazing things. AI won't take your job. Someone using AI will.